the concept of not advertising herself sexually, or at least having the option to do so, doesn't even enter into women's thought process. But if the guy is still pitching himself, if the guy so much as like contacts an old, or he gets hit up by some old girlfriend from high school on Facebook, now that's an emotional affair. Now he's cheating. Now it's like, oh, do you love her? You know? And so the guy has to give up his sexual strategy, whereas the woman does not. Now, do you know where I'm going to go with this? Because if you've read my books, you know exactly where I'm going to go with this. This is the cardinal rule of sexual strategies. For one sex's sexual strategy to succeed, or to be preeminent, to be the primary, right? To succeed, the other must either compromise or abandon it entirely. And today, when we have men and women coming together in what we used to call marriage, in new marriages anyways, the woman still reserves the right to advertise in the sexual marketplace. The man has no rights to do that. In fact, those are terms for nullification of the contract. Essentially, you can't pitch yourself. You want to know why, like when and I'm not saying I don't agree. I'm not saying I agree with this, but you want to know why Myron or Kevin Samuels or Justin Waller or the rest of these or the Tates, when they say it's open on my end and it's closed on your end, every woman is doing that right now. With every guy, any girl that is on Instagram who refuses, or the thought doesn't even enter into her brain to take herself off of the sexual marketplace, to stop advertising, they are doing precisely what Tate, what Kevin Samuels, what Justin Waller. It's the open on my end, closed on your end, because that's what it is. It is the negotiation of the cardinal rule of sexual strategies. For one sexual strategy to succeed, the other one must be compromised or abandoned. And largely today in Western societies, it's abandonment for men. Men are not allowed to broadcast themselves or to pitch their sexuality, or to try to perform to get another chick, whereas women can still advertise their sexuality in the event that things don't work out. In fact, to do so is terrifying, quote unquote. The idea of not being able to do that is terrifying. Think about that. You want to talk about the modern state? I mean, you want to know why marriage is like, 5.1 per 1,000 right now? It's at the lowest rate. What else do I have to say? All I'm doing, and again, I'm just connecting dots here. I'm not even using studies. I'm just looking at the methodologies of men's sexual strategies and women's sexual strategies. I don't think anybody would disagree with what I said as far as like men's sexual strategies. You know, men must perform, men perform, women choose. It's been that way for ages. It's been that way for what? Hold on. God damn it. I always want to get these. Okay.
I was there 3,000 years ago.
Yes, it's been that way for 3,000 years ago. More than that. So when women can remain in the sexual marketplace, but men are not allowed to remain in the sexual marketplace, I don't care how much you want to harp on and bang the gong about responsibility, tradcons, when that's the arrangement. When that's how it works. The moment Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, I think who else? Name the tradcon. Michael Knowles. The moment they start saying, ladies, you need to stop selling your ass on OnlyFans, because you should want to, not be required to. You should want to, because if he's the guy you want to reproduce with, you want to mix your DNA with, and you're going to be tied to that guy for the rest of your life. And he says, okay, we need to add this to the marriage vows. The guy says, forsaking all others. Well, let's add a few sub clauses to that, right? I'm not going to go put myself out there and try to go and get new trim, right? I'm not going to go get new strange. Okay. Deal? Okay. Here's the other deal. And in the marriage contract, you take your ass off of OnlyFans and you take your ass off of Instagram. Now, if that were to be part of the case, women say, well, that's an obligation and that's insecurity, blah, blah, blah. The reason they say that is because it's terrifying to not have that. Why is it terrifying? And I answered this question. Yeah, but then they want you to commit, right? Yeah. But men won't commit. Yes. Well, men, the conversation doesn't even happen. And again, I don't care if you ladies, if you have an OnlyFans and you, especially, I even told the ladies on Access Vegas, I said, I'm judging you, I have an OnlyFans. You know how many women that I interview that have OnlyFans? I'm directly porn stars. I'm not like, oh, shame on you. I'm not Michael Knowles. I'm not going to, that ain't going to be me. But when you force women to consider, why wouldn't that even be a thought in your head? That's really difficult for women to sort of wrap their heads around. And that forces them into like, well, here's the cognitive dissonance. I expect it to be closed on his end, but it's open on my end. But yet I'm going to give Andrew Tate shit for saying exactly that because they can pull it off. There's very few men like top G, like high value men. It's almost like implicit, right? Like, well, he's a high value guy. I'm his main. He has a baby. I'm a baby mama. He loves me. He comes home to me, but he's high value and other women are going to want to bang him. And so, better to have it above board than below board. For women to hear that from a guy is like outrageous, absolutely outrageous. But yet I can say, well, why would you not take yourself off of OnlyFans and stop advertising your sexuality? And so because you're essentially saying you are the functional equivalent of an Andrew Tate or whoever else, closed on his end, open on my end. That's what you're saying, ladies. It's closed on his end and it's open on my end. It's kind of open on my end. It's like, you never know. You never know.